Ford dealers. Log on to buyfordnow.com and find out why the best-selling trucks are built Ford tough. Walker Jones joins us today on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team at Mississippi Farm Bureau. Walker, of course, is working with the Grove Collective, former Ole Miss football players, worked in a bunch of different parts of the sports industry, and kind enough to spend a few minutes. What's up, my man?
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Doing well. So kind of a busy month, I suppose, for you with the Grove Collective. Seems like a lot of momentum on that front. We've obviously been talking a ton today about Lane Kiffin, Walker. What can you tell us about what's going on with the Grove Collective? You had a tweet this morning that said you woke up to really good news in terms of kind of where you guys are in terms of membership and also maybe some national corporate sponsors.
Yeah, Richard. It's been a busy month. It's been a busy week. It's been a busy day, which is kind of the life of being in the NIL right now with it, so volatile and always changing. But, really good news. We passed over 4,000 members last night, which was a good marker for us, considering on September 30th we were, a couple hundred. So the growth has been tremendous from a membership standpoint, which is really, really important for our kind of reoccurring revenue model and our sustainability. So that was really big. And actually, to be honest with you, I just took a look at our account, and we've added another 300 or 400 since then. So we're mid 4,000s now, encroaching on 5,000 members, which is really great and a big tribute to our Ole Miss fans and our fan base. And then that, along with, we've got a national brand who we just agreed to a large platform sponsorship with the collective, which we're going to be announcing here in the next few days. It's a very reputable brand. It's going to provide a great service to our athletes, and it's going to gather a lot of attention. And we will be the first SEC school to announce this type of partnership with a brand like this. So we're thrilled to death. I wish I could announce it today.
I was going to say, if you want to break some news, Walker, feel free.
Yeah, I know a lot of people want me to announce it today, and I wish I could, but I've got there's a big marketing team with this brand, as you can imagine, and they want to be really buttoned up on the PR and the announcement and have a big plan with it, and that takes a few days, and we're, just dotting all the I's, crossing all the T's. So, but we came to an agreement with all the terms, and it's going to be big news for us here in the next few days. So we're super excited about that for our athletes.
So, Walker, whether the number of members is at 4,000 like it was earlier today or trending toward 5,000, and I know from your perspective you hope more than that, what does that mean in terms of not specific dollars? I know you don't want to put specific dollars amount, but how many of those members are signing up for monthly or quarterly donations as opposed to it being one-time donations?
Yeah, Richard, I think the real important thing here is that membership. And again, we have more people paying monthly than we do the annual. We give them a choice, obviously, if they want to pay it all in one lump sum or if they want to pay it out over, 12 months. But that gives us that kind of annuitized recurring revenue that we know we're going to have. Mm-hmm. It gives us a great cash flow projection, so we know what we can support in the NIL world. And, it helps build that momentum. You start talking about, comparisons. Our Ole Miss Athletic Foundation has a little over 7,000 members. Well, we're closing in on that number with a tenth of that staff, which is, again, a tribute to our fans. But it just creates more momentum for us. And it gives us the security of knowing on January 1st, this is the money and this is the cash flow that we can count on. And that's really where, that sustainable model that I talked about in the very beginning and at the press conference back in September, the one-time big donations are great, and we'll continue to, bring those into the collective. But, you can only go to those people so many times. And so you really want to try to spread this thing out. And I've always said if we can have, 70% of our projections raised through our membership on the website, then we're winning. And we're actually closer to 80% now. which is a huge number, and it's going to give us the ability to replicate this type of fundraising every year, and not just this year.
Walker, whether you're talking about a tech startup in Silicon Valley or an NIL collective in Oxford, Mississippi, when you're growing fast, there are growing pains that are associated with that. You mentioned a relatively small staff, and I know that's at least partially by design to try and keep it as lean as possible so that you can control expenses. But in terms of people that have run into roadblocks or can't quite figure things out or a little slow on getting information, what do you say to those folks, especially on the corporate donation side?
Yeah, look, I think we're in that massive growth period right now. And, we are scaling our operations every day to keep up with that. And sometimes there's a transition in that. That has to do everything from our website, our payment processors, our membership management software, our corporate partnerships. All those things, when your numbers grow exponentially like that, the infrastructure needed to keep up with that just continues to just pile on. And so what we've been focused on this last couple of weeks is really trying to add automation and systems and processes so we can scale. And sometimes people get caught in that conversion, in that, transformation, and an email get missed or a phone call get missed, or there'll be a payment issue on the website. I think what people are seeing is those issues are becoming less and less. Sure, every business deals with customer service issues, it doesn't matter how big you are. Every company deals with that. And the real important thing is, can you be attentive and very aggressive in fixing the problem and not letting the same problem continue to happen? And that's what we've been focused on is the moment we know there's an issue, deploying resources to fix it. And what I would tell our people is just continue to reach out to us. These processes are going to continue to get better. But, I'll use the analogy of we're changing a flat tire while the car's going 50 miles an hour down the road. And so it's a challenge for sure. But we're adding more staff. I've hired a couple more people. We've got some national partnerships that are giving us that automation. And people will see that here over the next days, weeks, and months. So we can scale up and provide, best-in-class customer service. But just like any organization, Richard, you deal with, customer service issues, and we're going to be as quick as we can to fix those as possible. And I would just ask the Ole Miss fan base to continue to work with us and let us know when something goes wrong, and we'll jump on it.
So, Walker, obviously there's a ton of talk about Lane Kiffin and his future as it pertains to Auburn. Chris Lowe, who is a respected reporter at ESPN.com, was on a radio show, the Next Round in Birmingham yesterday or the day before, and made a comment, and I don't know if he meant it to be literal or not, but that Auburn had 10 times more NIL resources than what Ole Miss has got. How do you respond to that?
I think that's fake news, to be honest with you, because I think Chris Lowe's a great reporter. I've never spoken to Chris Lowe, nor has anybody with the Grove Collective, so he has no idea how much money we've raised. So that'd be my first comment is I don't know where he would get knowing how big we are. Secondly, I don't know if he truly knows how big Auburn's is. Auburn's throwing around these huge numbers, and that's great, but how do we know what that number really is? And look, there's a lot of ways you can massage those numbers. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors that people can say those are dollars on hand, those are pledged, those are projections. There's a lot of ways you can use fuzzy math, and I can't control what Auburn does or anybody else. But, I would tell you, knowing where we are today, I am really, really comfortable with what we have on hand and what we have pledged and what we're going to have every day that this thing continues to scale up. And so, again, I don't know where Chris is getting his information from. That's fine. It may have been, hearsay, which a lot of NIL stuff is, but, I would question that comment because I don't think it's based in any sort of fact.
Walker, only 30 seconds left. Do you believe that Lane Kiffin is comfortable with where the Grove Collective is?
I do. I know for a fact he is. again, we have delivered on everything that Coach has asked us to deliver on, and the university as well. We have far exceeded our goals financially with membership. Our Ole Miss fans have answered the call, and we sit here today in a really, really good position. So I feel great about it. I know Coach feels really good about it and is very pleased with where we are. And I'll just see, I'll let that speak for itself. But
Thanks,
I know
Walker.
for a fact he is, and we're delivering for him.
Walker Jones from the Grove Collective. This is Sports.